I was quite intimidated by it all, as a matter of fact. And Matt Robinson, who was playing Gordon at the time, who was also a writer of the show, would say to me, you have to make sure that the Hispanic content is appropriate. Me? How could I know what's appropriate? I'm just this kid from the South Bronx. I don't know I'm not a leader. I'm not a political person. I remember, actually, I'm going to jump to the present. People have said about Tiger Woods, why isn't he speaking out for the African American? And I remember when I started on Sesame Street, and I would say, he plays golf. Why does he, just because he's famous, or just because one is famous and not white, does that mean you represent all your people? But he would say that to me. He would say, you have to. So I didn't know what to do, really. I just was worried about learning my lines and dealing with puppets. I was from a stage actress. I wasn't used to people looking at me from this angle, from this angle. I didn't know where they were looking at me from. It was new to a television studio. And so I was quite intimidated, but still I rose a little bit to the occasion. There used to be a fruit cart on the show. And I said, I think that we should have some plantains and coconuts and pineapples in the fruit cart, because that's what Puerto Ricans eat. And they did it. Well, then I became more and more active in that aspect. I actually got tired of the Hispanic culture bits always being the same, I thought. And at that time, we used to have meetings with the actors and writers. And the writers used to ask us, what do you want to do? What do you think about this? And I found that I would give them my opinion, and then I would see it. I would see my opinions implemented in the script, which validated my ideas for me. And then I thought, well, obviously they're good if they're really paying attention to me. And we had a wonderful executive producer at that time, Dulcie Singer. And this was at the time when people hired you so that you could surprise them and come up with better things that they couldn't come up with. That's why they hired you. I think nowadays people hire you, they don't want you to be smarter than they are. Just keep your place. Don't be better than me. At that time, it was like, come on, this is why I want you. Why I've hired you, so that you can exceed my expectations. And finally I said, well, why are these culture bits all about food and music? It's like cultures don't grow. It's like all Puerto Ricans are food and a certain kind of music, and we don't change. And she said, well, the only way for us to get this right is if you write it. I went, what? I'd never written anything in my life. And I owe that to Dulcie Singer. And she said, not only that, here's the curriculum notebook. It was a Bible. It was like a telephone book full of the Bible of the show, which means what the mission is, what the child is supposed to learn, what the constraints are. It was mind-boggling, because all of a sudden I was seeing what all these people were doing behind the camera.